Hello and welcome to week 10 tutorial of CS311. So this week we are given a number of questions. So we'll start with 8.4. Now 8.4 says consider a logical address space of 64 pages of 1024 words each mapped onto a physical memory of 32 frames. Now we know that there are two methods of memory management, and they are segmentation and paging. So when we implement paging, the physical memory is broken down into fixed size blocks, and each block in there is called a frame. And along with it, we also break down the logical memory into same size blocks, and each block in the logical memory is called a page. So when we look at this question, we know that this method of memory management is paging, because in here we have pages and frames. So in this case, in the physical memory, there are 32 frames, and in the logical address space, there are 64 pages. So the diagram looks something like this. Okay. So in the logical address space, there are 64 pages from 0 to 63, and in each page, there are 1024 words. Okay, it says each page has 1024 words each. So the pages are numbered from 0 to 1023. Now the physical memory will look something very similar. Okay, but instead of page, we will have frame. So in this case, the frames will be from 0 to 31, because there are 32 frames. So that is 0 to, this will be frame 0 all the way up till frame 31. Okay, and then the other thing in here is each frame or each page in the either physical memory or logical memory will be of same size. That means if each frame is 4 bytes, then each page will also be 4 bytes. Now in this case, they are not using bytes or kilobytes to measure the size of each block. So in here words is used. So it says each page or frame has 1024 words. So in each page, there will be 1024 words, and also in each frame, there will be 1024 words. Okay, this will be frames, not page, and this will be numbered from 0 to 31. Now, if we have this, so how many bits do you think we need to represent each of these words? So there are 1024 words. So what we are saying is 2 power x is equal to 1024. So how many bits do we need here in here? So x will be 10. So we need 10 bits to address each of these words. Then what about the page size? There are 64 pages. So how many bits do we need to represent 64? So that is 2 power x is equal to 64. So x is equal to 6. So we need 10 bits to represent each of these words, and we need 6 bits to represent each of these page. So in total, in the logical address space, there will be 10 plus 6 equals 16 bits, and using 16 bits, we can address any of this word in any page. Then the same goes for the physical memory. So in the physical memory, again, we'll have 10 bits for the words. So 10 bits would be for the words. And since there are 32 frames in the physical memory, so how many bits do we need to represent 32? That is 5. X is 5. So to represent the physical memory, we will need 10 plus 5, that is 15 bits. So part I was how many bits are there in the logical address space. So in the logical address space, there are 16 bits, and in the physical address, there are 15 bits. The second question is 8.11. So in 8.11, it says given 6 memory partitions of 300 KB, 600 KB, 350, 200, 750, and 125 KB, and in order. So how would the first fit, best fit, and worst fit algorithms place processors of size 115, 500, 358, 200, and 375 KB in order? And we have to rank the algorithm in terms of how efficiently they use memory. Now in the first question, that was 8.4, that question was on one of the methods of memory management, that was on paging. This question is on the other method, that is segmentation. So what happens in segmentation is the address space of a process is broken down into variable sized blocks called segments. So in a paging, every block was of same size, and in a segmentation, the blocks will be of variable length, and each block in here is called a segment. So in this question, these segments are of this length, right? And if you look at the segments visually, it looks something like this. And we have these many processes to fit in these memory spaces. So the first process requires 115 KB, second one requires 500 KB, and so on. So if we try to place these processes in these memory spaces, then there could be many ways in which we can place the processes. So the three algorithms given here are first fit, best fit, and worst fit. So what happens in first fit is the algorithm will start from the top of the memory segment, and as soon as a memory space is found big enough to cater for the process, it is going to put that particular process in that space. So if you use first fit, then 115 KB can fit in this particular segment, that is of size 300. So what we'll do is we'll take this process and put it in this segment. So we'll put it here. Let's say I'll color this maybe yellow, right? Just to visualize that there is a process in there. So this entire segment was of 300 KB, and now 115 KB is occupied by this particular process. So left is, from this 300, we are left with 185 KB. So this part is 185 KB. Then we go to the second one, that is 500 KB. We again start from the top. Okay. So can we fit 500 KB in this 185 KB? No. We go to the next one. So can we fit 500 KB in this 600? Yes, we can. So we'll take this 500 and put it in here. So let's say it takes about this much space. So from this 600, we are left with 100 KB. Right, the process was 500 KB and we are left with 100 KB in this segment. Then we go to the next process, which is 358 KB. We are going to start from the top and look for a segment which is at least 358 KBs in length. So the first one we get is 750. So we'll take this 350 and put it in this segment. So from this 750 KB, we are left with 392 KB. Then the next one is 200 KB. So we are going to start from the top. We find 200 KB. So 200 KB can fit in this 350 KB segment. So we'll place the 200 KB in here. Okay, so from this 350, we are left with 150 KB. Then finally, the last one is 375. So 375 can fit in this 392. So we'll put that 375 in the 392 KB segment. So that goes here, and from this 392, we are left with 17 KB. Okay, so if we were to use the first fit algorithm, then this is how the processes will be put into the memory segments. You can also label the process where they have gone. So this one was the first one, that is P1, which is this 115. It's a good idea to label the processes. So this one was 115, that you can label these processes. So 115, this one would be a 500 KB and so on. So that was using the first fit algorithm. What if we use the best fit? Now in best fit, the process will be put into the smallest segment, which has just enough space to cater for the process. So what we'll do is we'll look for a memory space which is just big enough to cater for the process. So the smallest number out of this, right, is 1 to 5, which is bigger than 115. Right, so we'll look for a smallest number from this, which is bigger than the size of the process. So the size of the process is 115 and 115 can fit in this one. So we'll put that process over here. So from this 125, we are left with 10 kb. So this is a P1. P1 is this one, P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. Then the next one is P2, which is 500 kb. So where can we put 500 kb? So we'll again look for a number which is the smallest number that is greater than 500. So we have 600, we have 750. So the smallest is 600, that is greater than 500. So we'll put that 500 kb process in here. So we can say this is P2, and from this 600, we are left with only 100 kb. Then the next one is 358. So 358 can fit in this 750. Okay, because it cannot go in any other segment because all of them are smaller than 358. So 358 will go over here. So this will be P3. And from this, we are left with 392 kb. The next one is P4, which is 200 kb. So 200 kb can fit perfectly in here. So we'll put a 200 kb in here. And that was P4. So from this 200 kb, we are left with 0 kb. So this segment was fully utilized. And then lastly, 375. So 375 will fit in here. So in this, we are left with 17 kb. And that was P5. Right, so this is how the processes are placed in the segments. And these are the remaining sizes of the segments after all the processes have been assigned to the memory. Then the next one is worst fit. So worst fit is a opposite of best fit. In worst fit, what we'll do is we'll take the process and put it in the largest available memory. So we start with 115. So 115 will go in the largest one. So the largest one out of these is 750. So 115 will go in this particular segment. So P1 goes over here. And then out of this 750, we are left with 635 kb. The next one is P2, which is 500 kb. So the largest available is in here 635. So we'll put P2 in this 635 segment. So P2 goes here, and from this 635, we are left with 135 kb. Then the next one is P3, which is 358. So the largest one available now is 600 kb. So this 355 kb goes in here. And from this 600, we are left with 242 kb. Then P4, the largest one available now is 350. So P4 will go in this segment. So from this 350, we are left with 150 kb. And last one is P5, which is 375 kb. And the largest available here is 300, but 300 is not big enough to cater for this 375 kb. That means we cannot assign at this moment this P5 into the memory. That means P5 will have to wait until the segment becomes empty or any space becomes available so that it is big enough to cater for P5. Now I'll leave this last part for you, that is running the algorithms in terms of how efficiently they use the memory. The next one is 8.20. So it says, assuming a 1 KB page size, what are the page numbers and offsets for the following addresses? And these numbers are given in decimals. Now looking at these numbers, Can you figure out whether these numbers are logical addresses or physical addresses? So it says it is asking for the page numbers and offsets from these addresses. And from 8.4, we know that the page numbers or the pages are associated with logical addresses and the frame numbers are associated with the physical addresses. So since it is asking for the page numbers and offsets from these numbers, then we know that these numbers are the logical addresses. And it is saying the page size is 1 KB. Now very similar to 8.4. So in 8.4 we had something like this. So we had the page number and then we had the second part. So we were to find the number of bits needed to represent the logical or the physical addresses in there. So what we did was we got the number of bits for the page numbers, okay, and then we added to the second part, which was the word. So the second part was the offset. Now every logical address is made up of two parts. The first one is the page number, and then the second part is the offset. And same for the physical addresses. The physical addresses are made up of the frame numbers and then the offset. Now in here, we are given the page size of 1 KB. That means this part in here would be 1 KB. That means in total, there would be 1024 bytes in one page. And how many bits do we need to represent 1024? That would be 10 bits. That means the second part of the address is 10 bits and whatever is remaining is the page number. Now the first number that we are given here is 3085. That is the logical address in decimal. So what we need to do is convert that to binary. So this number is in decimal, and if you convert that to binary, we get this number. So this is the logical address in decimal, and this is the logical address in binary. Now we know that the offset is 10 bits from here. So we'll count 10 bits from behind because the first part is the page number and second part is the offset. So the last 10 bits is the offset. So we'll count 10 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll put a comma over here just to separate the page number and the offset. Now the part after the comma, that is the offset, and the part before the comma, that is the page number. Because the logical address is made up of two parts, page number and offset. So since the offset is 10 bits, then we'll get 10 bits from here and convert that to decimal. So I'll convert this part to decimal to get the offset. The decimal number we get is 13. That means the offset for this particular logical address is 13, and page number is the part before the comma, so that is 11, and 11 in a decimal would be 3. So that means the page number is 3. So for this particular logical address, the offset is 13 and the page number is 3. Next one is 42095. So we'll convert that to binary. So 42095 in binary is this value. So again, we know the offset is 10 bits. So we'll again count 10 bits from behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, I'll put a comma here to separate the page and the offset. So I'll convert this part now to decimal to get the offset value. So the decimal value is 111. That means the offset is 111. So this is a decimal number, 111, not 111 in binary. And the page number would be the first part over here. So that number in decimal would be 41. So page number is 41. So for this particular logical address, the offset is 111 and the page number is 41. What this offset and page numbers mean is if we were to go into the memory and get some data, then our data would be in for this particular address. The data would be in page number 3. So we'll go to page number 3. So page 0, page 1, page 2, we go to page number 3. Okay. And then we'll go to offset 13. So we'll count 13 from there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on up till 13. That means whatever data we are looking for is located in that particular block. Okay, so I'll remove this part because this is for 8.4. Right, so I have shown two examples. You will do the remaining three parts, C, D, and E,